Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on an industry that operates behind the scenes of literally almost every single business, yet remains incredibly misunderstood. We're talking about commercial cleaning. We're going to dig into the insider secrets, the hidden costs, and the true markers of quality so you can make decisions that actually protect your business and, of course, your bottom line.
Okay, let's dive into this. When you hire a commercial cleaner, what are you truly getting for your money? Are you securing a consistently hygienic workspace? Or are you really just buying a shiny honeymoon phase that totally fades away as soon as the ink dries on the contract? I absolutely love this quote from our source material because it hits the nail right on the head. It captures the single most common trap in this entire industry. You know, the first clean? It's almost always excellent. The contractor is super attentive, you're watching closely, the standards are fresh. But what happens in month 5? That's when that dreaded month 5 film starts accumulating in the break room, the staff might have turned over, and the standards just mysteriously drop. We want to evaluate predictors of sustained quality, not just that initial presentation quality. To avoid that month 5 drop-off, you first have to understand the foundation of your agreement. So let's look at the cleaning pricing landscape. Our sources outline 3 distinct pricing models here. First up, we have the per square meter model. This one scales predictably with floor area and is pretty much the standard for larger, say, 500-plus square meter corporate facilities. Second, there's the hourly rate. This fits smaller boutique offices or maybe one-off cleans, though keep in mind after-hours cleaning is going to carry penalty rates. And third, we have the fixed monthly contract. This is definitely the most popular for your ongoing regular cleaning because it gives you total budget certainty and is usually tied to a very specific written scope of works. But right here is where you really need to pay close attention. The absolute cheapest quote is often a Trojan horse for hidden costs. You've got to watch out for supply surcharges, where essentials like toilet paper and hand soap are suddenly billed extra. Keep an eye out for hidden access fees if your building requires security sign-ins. Beware of the frequency bait and switch. This is where they quote you for 3 visits a week, but quietly drop to 2, just hoping you won't notice. And honestly, the most dangerous red flag of all, insurance coverage gaps. That leaves the liability of an accident entirely on your shoulders. Beyond pricing, the actual structure of the cleaning company dictates the level of service you'll receive. Let's compare franchise versus independent cleaners. And this brilliantly illustrates the franchise accountability gap. You see, in a franchise network, you sign with a massive national franchisor brand. But the service itself is actually delivered by an individual franchisee who just bought that territory. With an independent model, you get a direct line. The company that owns the brand directly manages the staff cleaning your office, meaning the business owner is directly accountable to you. This structural difference introduces some very specific risks, especially for smaller offices relying on a franchise model. Franchisees are essentially independent small business owners operating on incredibly thin margins. If they hit financial trouble, they might cut product quality or slash staff hours. Plus, training is highly variable from one franchisee to the next. And think about this. If that franchisee suddenly exits the business, your account gets reassigned, often with 0 notice, leading to missed visits and completely unfamiliar staff roaming your halls. Oh, and trying to route a simple complaint through a massive franchisor just to reach an independent franchisee? Total headache. Okay, let's shift gears from business structures to the physical realities of the job. Hidden hazards, and compliance. Because an unclean office isn't just an aesthetic annoyance, right? It is a serious legal and safety liability. Our sources pulled data from WorkSafe Victoria, and let me tell you, the hazard profile for untrained cleaners is genuinely alarming. We're talking severe risks. Cuts from improperly disposed needles, burns and respiratory issues from mishandling heavy-duty chemicals, back injuries from manually lifting massive waste bins, and serious slips and falls on wet floors. If your cleaning contractor isn't actively training their staff on these specific hazards, they are literally introducing massive liabilities straight into your workspace. And that liability multiplies tenfold if you operate a medical space. Which brings us to a really crucial question for any healthcare provider watching right now. Is your clinic actually up to code, or does it just look clean to the naked eye? In a medical center, visual cleanliness means absolutely nothing without microscopic compliance. These facilities have to adhere to incredibly strict guidelines from national boards, like the National Health and Medical Research Council. We're talking mandatory use of hospital-grade disinfectants, highly precise biohazard waste disposal, and rigorous daily disinfection of high-touch surfaces.
Even something that sounds as simple as using strictly color-coded cleaning cloths is an absolute requirement. You have to prevent cross-contamination between, say, a waiting room and a sterile treatment room. Now, whether you're in a medical clinic or a corporate high-rise, there is an industry-wide shift happening right now that you really need to be aware of: the green cleaning shift.
This is no longer just some marketing buzzword. It's about protecting staff health and the environment at the exact same time. True green cleaning relies on some core sustainable practices. It means swapping harsh, toxic chemicals for biodegradable, VOC-free cleaners that won't trigger allergies. It means upgrading to HEPA filter vacuums that actively pull pollutants out of the air instead of just pushing the dust around. It's about using microfiber cloths that trap bacteria without needing heavy chemical sprays, and even shifting to energy-efficient daytime cleaning to significantly cut down on after-hours lighting and HVAC usage.
And here is the so what for your bottom line: better indoor air quality from those HEPA filters and a big reduction in toxic, volatile organic compounds directly leads to a much healthier workforce. By investing in these practices, you are actively reducing respiratory irritation and allergies. That translates directly to fewer sick days and increased employee productivity. Honestly, green cleaning literally pays for itself. So the crucial point is, how do you actually find a company that delivers on all these promises, right? Let's look at the ultimate evaluation guide to separate the professionals from the amateurs. Our sources outline a rigorous 8-point buyer's checklist. Let's rapid fire through these non-negotiables. 1. They must conduct a physical site inspection before quoting, absolutely no blind estimates. 2. They provide a written scope of work that is tailored specifically to your office. 3. A documented written police check policy, not just a, yeah, we do that. 4. A clearly defined backup system for when a cleaner inevitably calls in sick. 5. Flexible month-to-month contracts. This proves they are confident in keeping your business through quality, not legal lock-ins. And 6. They willingly hand over references from current clients in comparable spaces. But wait, that's only 6. The final 2 points come down to very specific numbers. Point 7 on the checklist is a vital number: $10 million. This is the absolute bare minimum public liability insurance any commercial cleaner must carry. And actually, it should jump to $20 million for highly regulated environments like medical clinics. Demand to see that certificate of currency on day 1. If they can't produce it, walk away. No exceptions. And the final point, number 8, is another crucial number: 24, as in 24 hours. When you ask a prospective cleaner how they handle complaints, a true professional is going to give you a named contact and a maximum 24-hour response time for service issues, complete with a crystal clear path to actually fix the problem. Let's move to and see how this builds your implementation plan. Because finding the right company is really only half the battle. Actively managing those first 90 days is how you lock in long-term quality. First, proactively walk your office after the first 2 or 3 cleans. Second, compare exactly what you see right back to that written scope of work. Third, if something's missed, report it within 24 hours. Do not let it slide. Prompt feedback sets the standard early. And finally, once the routine is dialed in, you can easily shift to brief monthly visual checks. To summarize the absolute core takeaway from all our source material today, the cheapest cleaning quote is rarely the best value. As we've seen, true value is not found in a cheap initial price tag that secretly hides supply surcharges, skips essential safety compliance, or just vanishes entirely by month 5. True value is sustained, reliable, safe quality. Which leaves us with this final thought. Take a look at your current contract, or maybe the one you're about to sign. 12 months from now, will your office still be spotless, healthy, and compliant, or will you be right back at square one, frustrated and searching for yet another cleaner? Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on an industry that operates behind the scenes of literally almost every single business, yet remains incredibly misunderstood.